We are live. Welcome as we have viewers come in. If you don't know my face or have heard my name before, my name is Walt, and I'm the founder, lead designer, and master wizard over at Infinite, where we specialize in helping men and women in the gaming industry from casual and hardcore gamers to high level industry executives and leadership. We help them completely transform their mind, body, and spirit with our unique, science backed, data driven system, which we call our Total Wellness Role Playing Game System. And today, I'm going to be walking you through how to unlock your ideal training program. So, training is one of those big things. In my opinion, I think it's overemphasized when it comes to across all specific fitness and health goals. But today I really wanted to walk you through exactly what that recipe is like to unlock an ideal training program that's not going to hold you back but push you forward closer to your goals in a way that's engaging, in a way that's fun, in a way that's motivating, in a way that's not going to cause you to spin your wheels over and over again. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever tried a training program either from, whether it's a friend or online, whether that's YouTube, social media, your favorite fitness influencer? Maybe you bought their program, gave it a try, but you just couldn't stick with it. Whether you lasted maybe a couple weeks, maybe even if it's a couple months, or maybe it's just you tried the program and just didn't like it. Have you ever tried a training program and got great results, right? Well, why? What went into that training program so that you stayed engaged and you stayed motivated and consistent long enough for you to actually get the results? And that's what I'm going to be talking with you today about is really what should be involved inside of a training program so that you can actually get the results that you're looking for. So a little bit of my background and experience when it comes to program design is I've been crafting training programs since I was 14 years old. I used to go on a lot of bodybuilding and health websites, and I used to love just breaking down, Arnold Schwarzenegger's workout routine, all of these up and coming bodybuilders in the time like Phil Heath and things like that, and people like that. And I would love to just put these exercises together and change the sets and the reps. But training programs are much deeper than sets and reps. It's very simple on the surface when you kind of look at a training program. All you see is exercises, sets, and reps, and you just do it, right? And you should get results. But there's a lot more that goes into finding the best training program for you, and that is what I want to talk about with you right now. So I'm going to share my screen here and walk you through exactly how we craft training programs here at Infinite. If I could find my pen. Bear with me for a second. We are live. Where'd my pen go? Here we go. We are live. So, unlocking your ideal training program. Let's first talk about what training programs are typically designed around and how they're typically designed. Well, number one, most training programs are designed around style. So the style of training. And when you're looking at a training program, some people know the style of training, some people don't. And just a couple examples of different styles of training that you can kind of go about when it comes to your physical health and fitness. Number one, bodybuilding, powerlifting. You got calisthenics. You got sports specific training styles, and you also have other ones, but this is pretty much, you know, just a general overview of styles of training. There's a lot of different ways to train, and if you don't know the particular style of training that you want to perform, that's going to get you excited to train, that's going to challenge you in a way that's going to mentally and physically push you so that you get your body to adapt to the training stimulus and grow and become stronger and inside the gym, then you're not going to stick to it. And unfortunately, there's a lot of training programs out there that are very bodybuilding focused, and they don't even know it. I remember a conversation that I'll never forget. I saw a guy, doing a lot of bicep curls and a lot of shoulder work and things like that. And I asked him, I was like, "Hey, do you like this, this style of training?" And he's like, "Yeah, I love doing bicep curls and training my biceps and stuff like that." I was like, "Hey, what are your goals?" And it's like, "Oh, I'm trying to get stronger. Just trying to lift heavier weight." And I'm like, "Oh, so do you like isolating each one of these muscle groups?" And they're like, "Yeah. Like obviously I like training biceps." And I was like, "Okay, so like, are you aware that you're kind of training in the bodybuilding style?" They're like, "No, I don't want to be a bodybuilder. I don't want to be big and bulky." And then I asked them, I was like, "Why are you training like one then?" It's like, because you're doing a lot of strategic muscle isolation, high repetition work, and you're not primarily training for strength, which is what they said they kind of wanted. And it kind of blew his mind. He's like, "I had no idea." So being aware of the specific training style that you are doing is going to be very, very important when it comes to sticking with a training routine for the long term. Now, most training programs that you've probably seen are kind of based around this. They specialize in a specific style of training, but it goes much, much deeper than that. And if you're lucky, you'll find a program that's also based around your particular goals, right? And you're not just following a bunch of random exercises that are put together in a presentable format. So what kind of goals can training programs be designed around? Well, pretty simple. Number one, fat burning is one. Muscle building is another. Be based around performance. Again, kind of going into sports a little bit. Power, strength, and so on and so forth. A lot of different ways to kind of design a training program around when it comes to your specific goals. And this is very, very important that you are following a training program that's based around your individual goals. Not all training programs do this. There's a lot of training programs that are designed specifically around just the style of training with a multitude of different types of goals that can complement it. And you can't, there's an expression, chase two rabbits, end up catching none. So you try to kind of train for fat loss, muscle building, performance, and all these different things, and you end up not improving in any of these areas or very little in these areas. So training programs ideally want to have a primary goal and possibly a secondary goal. For example, if your primary goal is fat loss and fat burning, and you're new to lifting or doing any type of heavy resistance training, then you have the opportunity to not only burn body fat, but also build muscle and strength because resistance training and weight training is new to you. So keep that in mind that every training program should be designed around a primary goal. And then a lot of training programs also have secondary goals. But if you don't combine both of these together, it doesn't really quite matter what the training program is like when it comes to the style or the goals, because if you're doing things that you don't like to do, then you're not going to stick to it. If you don't like sitting down on a bench and doing dumbbell presses or doing barbell bench or even barbell squat or things like that, then you're not going to stick to it, right? Regardless of whether or not the program's designed around each one of these particular goals. So this is honestly the fullest extent of most programs that you'll find online or in the internet on the internet. But at Infinite, we go much, much more deeper, where we start to include gamification. So this is where we take things to the next level when it comes to program design, and basically we factor in something very important, and that is experience. What is your experience level? There are very, very few programs that take this into consideration. What's your experience level in this particular training style, right? How long have you been doing powerlifting training or calisthenics, sports-specific type training? Also, what's the quality of your experience? Not just how long you've been doing something. There's a lot of people that have been going to the gym for 30, 40 years and are on the same level as they were 15, 20 years ago, right? That doesn't represent, length of time doesn't represent the quality of your training experience. So we have to factor that in when it comes to designing a program that's going to challenge you just enough so that you can continue to progress, but also is not too easy so that you quit, right? And there's a lot of different levels, right? There's a novice, intermediate, if I could spell, intermediate, advanced, and even on the expert plus level, right? Where do you sit at when it comes to the specific training style the program has and the specific goals of the program? That is going to determine how quickly you progress and how long you're going to be able to stick with the program. And this is something that is missing in a lot of training programs. The experience level. So, all that being said, is that it? Of course not. There's a whole nother variable that we consider at Infinite when we're designing training programs for our warriors. And it's something very, very special, leveraged by gamification when it comes to gaming. And that is so, so important, and that is engagement. What keeps you engaged? What makes the experience fun and exciting for you? Again, this is something that doesn't get really factored in, because what most people look at training is it's something that's difficult, strenuous, sweaty, uncomfortable, and all these different negative type emotions, which is why a lot of people just skip their workouts, right? It's a lot of work, right? It's a lot of work, and for a lot of people, it's boring, right? So how you stay engaged so that you get excited to come back to the gym or go to the gym or just start your training program and stick to it is so, so important. And this is something that we factor in. And how we do that is we break it down in a couple different preferred play styles is what we call. And it can be broken down into a couple things. One of which is milestones and achievements. Are you the type of person that likes to set goals and achieve them? Are you the type of person that wants to see your strength climb up week after week after week, and you have this goal in your mind of, I want to be able to do X, Y, Z as a milestone? If you're that type of person, having a program that has milestones and achievements built in every week, every 4 weeks, or a combination of both of those is going to be a game changer for you. Now, next is going to be something that most people take too much advantage of, in some cases, is variety and novelty. If you're part of our Facebook group community, we have one of our wizards, Jasper, who made an incredible blog article about hopping from program to program and how that's unsustainable and will promote inconsistency. However, when it comes to programs, for a lot of people, they get bored very, very quickly. So if you're that type of person, there has to be some type of variety in your training experience or some type of surprises that are built in on either on a day-to-day basis or a week-to-week or on a consistent 4-week basis. Otherwise, again, you're going to get bored and you're just going to go from program to program, which is not going to create long-term results. So if you're that type of person, it's very important that you follow a program that has just enough variety and novelty for you to stick to it. Now, the next one is something that I enjoy is social interaction. Some people like to train with other people. They like to be around other people. They like to be challenged by other people. And if that is how you want to stick to health and fitness, then you have to follow a training program that's going to give you the flexibility and the tools for you to go through that workout with other people, whether that's a group training program where you're training with a group of people, maybe you're training one-on-one with somebody else, or maybe you're training virtually with a coach or a trainer. Having that social interaction might be the piece of motivation that you need to stick to a training program long enough to see the results. So social interaction is also another perspective and style of engagement that can truly be a game changer. And last but not least here, this is going to be one for the experienced or inexperienced, and that's competition. I think there's a part of us, a little part of us that wants to compete, even if it's just with ourselves. But having that one competition component can be an absolute game changer, just like all these other options as well. When you have to, when you're facing the pressure of performing and trying to outperform somebody else, or even if it's in a competitive sports-like environment of beating another team, that can motivate and drive consistency and progress in ways that you can't even imagine, specifically when it comes to your health and fitness goals. So competition is one of those other engagement styles that you can incorporate into a training program to, again, really give you that extra boost, that urgency to push yourself just this much harder. And these are the four, recipes, the four variables for the recipe for your ideal training program. Having a style that you enjoy, that you'll stick to for the long term, and that you can always come back to and want to improve in. Having a training program that aligns with your specific primary health and fitness goals, whether that's fat burning, muscle building, things like that. A training program that's based around the quality of your training experience in that style of training and your particular fitness goals. Then last but not least, how you like to be engaged while you're doing a training program, whether that's hitting milestones and hitting achievements, whether that's having a lot of variety and surprises in your training program, or interacting with other people or competing with other people. And this is what's missing in a lot of training programs. So that is the recipe for the ideal training program. This might be a lot to take in, but now you at least can look at training from a different lens or a different perspective. The next time you see a training program, now you can kind of factor in all these different variables. And of course, if you want help getting a training program that's designed around you, that's going to improve in whatever particular fitness and health goals that you have, whatever style of training that you enjoy the most, as well as based around your specific experience level so that you can continuously progress into higher and higher and more challenging training styles or training experiences, plus keeping it fun and engaging. Of course, feel free to reach out to myself or anyone on my team, whether that's through direct message on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, wherever you're watching this from. Or feel free to visit our website, infiniterpg.com. That's INFITNITERPG.com. Shoot us an email, join our website, and we would love to support you on your health and fitness goals now rather than later, because the New Year's is coming up. There's going to be a lot of people that want to change, but if you decide to take action today and start to really come up with a game plan and a strategy for long-term success, then you're going to be far better equipped by January, and perhaps you can even start getting results right now before January, so you can get a head start compared to everyone else. So if you want support with that, feel free to reach out. Again, my name is Walt. I'm the founder, lead designer, and master wizard at Infinite. And I'll see you next week for another live. So stay tuned. If you enjoyed this, I'll be doing this every week. So love to see you again next week. Take care. Dominate the rest of your day.